You're listening to the Caramel Apples podcast, the apple snack that brings you a retro vibe, both crunchy and sweet, with your hosts, Kennedy Rizzo and Cooper Lee.
Coop, this week's discussion is to be very nostalgic, as we talk about popular retro fragrances and how those very familiar, innocent smells struck a chord with us then, and how those same fragrances and scents, or something similar really impact us even now.
Oh, yeah, that is so true, Kennard. So, first, let's briefly define what the sense of smell is exactly.
Okay?
Olfaction, or the sense of smell, is the special sense through which smells are perceived. And olfaction has many purposes. Listen to me trying to sound scientific.
Sounds good. Go ahead.
So it has many purposes and functions, like detecting hazards such as fumes or smoke, also pheromones, and it helps us greatly when connecting smells and taste.
Oh, buddy, that last one is a strong one for me personally, right there. Gotta love that one.
So, fun fact that olfactory system is located in the same part of our brain that affects emotions, memory, and creativity, which is a nice segue to open up our discussion this week about some of our fond nostalgia we can recall on some of our favorite retro scents.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so on that note, do you remember this is one that we liked, and you could find it in the drugstore. Debbie Gibson had a song called Electric Youth.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember she had the fragrance?
I I remember the song, but until you mentioned the fragrance, I it wouldn't have popped into my head. I'm glad you mentioned that.
The smell, I think we really did like it, but what was so cool about it was the whole packaging of it because it had that hot pink spiral that reminds you of electricity that went down into the bottle on the little tube that helps draw out the product. So I mean, it just the packaging was very, very 80s and it was very awesome and made you feel like, yes, you are an electric youth.
Oh, that is awesome memories right there. I do remember that.
Now, can you think off the top of your head what your favorites were?
I had a couple of go-tos. I can't remember the company that launched it, but I liked the way the bottle looked and everything. It was called Navy.
Yes.
And it was a stronger scent. It was like, I wouldn't call it floral, but it wasn't fruity at all.
Okay.
It was more robust. It was a serious grown up smell.
Gotcha.
But
Okay.
I loved it. It was, I think I had a couple, three bottles of it.
That's
And
devotion, folks.
but then there was one that you could get from your local drugstore. It was Cody Wild Musk.
Yeah.
I loved Cody Wild Musk. I mean, it went well with my body chemistry. Like it was just one of those cool scents. I think it went with a lot of people's body chemistry, but it matched mine well. I mean, I could rock that stuff.
Yes, I would like to say they struck gold with that one because that was very memorable and it did smell very nice.
It did. It did.
And I do remember using yours a few different times.
Hey!
So thank you for that.
That's how it drained so quickly. Now I know.
Now you know. So on that, another one that you could find at drugstore was Malibu Musk. Do you remember that? It was kind of like, what we know as a body spray now, because that's the kind of delivery system it had. It was more of a spray versus a perfume.
Okay, yeah, like kind of a spritzer, misty type thing.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, I do remember that. Yes.
And I remember mainly the packaging because it was like a kind of like a tealish bottle that had like squiggly lines on it. And I think it might even have like a sun painted on it. Like it's just very, very 80s as far as the packaging goes, but it's very cool and of course fits the demographic that we're talking
Oh my gosh, I love this discussion. This is so
to.
memorable.
Yeah, you're thinking back to when we were kids in our room. It's like, oh yeah, you could just picture where it was.
Yeah,
Um,
totally.
yeah. Do you remember there was one? There used to be a store called Odd Lots, and of
Mhm.
course, they were known for having things you could not find anywhere else.
Hence the name.
Yes. So I don't know what happened, but they had one that was called Verve. I think it was a very popular brand, but the scent that I particularly liked was called Celebration,
Ah,
and it had a dark blue cap, and it smelled so delightful. It was so good. But you know what? Could never find it at Odd Lots again. Couldn't find it anywhere else.
oh, that is so frustrating.
I know. And it's like now you can't find it anywhere. Like even if you like I tried to do a broad search online, could not find it. It's like, did it exist? I don't know.
Yeah, because you're looking here with all the tech we have.
Mm-hmm.
I should be able to find this stuff from back in the 80s. Seriously, it was around. But when you can't find it, you kind of think, am I crazy? Am I making it up? I don't think so, but I can't find this stuff.
See, that's what I'm talking about. And on that note, because we're talking about that, I think Victoria's Secret started selling fragrances kind of like in the late 80s, maybe around 89 or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And I know this isn't necessarily the time period that we talk about, but in 1995, I can even remember the year, I bought one that was called Tropical Guava, and I got the collection of everything they had. I got the lotion, I got the body wash,
Oh.
and they might have even had a bubble bath, and I got the splash because it was just the kind you dump in your hand and kind of put on you.
Oh, nice.
Oh, it was delightful. And again, I cannot find it anywhere. And you think it's Victoria's Secret. I should be able to find something. Can't find anything on it.
And that straight up sounds like vacation in a bottle.
Oh my goodness. It was amazing. Loved it.
And real quick, back to your Verve. Remember they go, Verve, make you feel good all over.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
That's crazy.
Nice job on that one too there, Kennard.
That came straight from the caramel apple vault.
And not a moment too soon, because thank you. Yes. I mean, I totally forgot, but I do remember now.
Cool beans. But scent is a very powerful driver of our perception and behavior, much more than we think, whether good or bad.
Hmm.
Hence how we have so many high end brands of fragrances now, all the way down to what's available at our favorite local drugstore types, like as we just described.
Yeah.
Also, one of the reasons we have whole entire brands or chains in recent years springing up that have become big business all on their own in a major way,
Hmm.
like Bath and Body Works, and or the specialized scent division of the Victoria's Secret Pink brand.
Yeah. You talk about big business. Seriously, because there are so many to choose from. I mean, there's knockoffs of those that you can choose from. I mean, it goes on. I think there's even places you can go and make your own scent these days.
Really?
Honestly, yes, I believe. I don't know if they're everywhere, but I think there's some specialty stores you can do that. Pretty
Oh,
crazy.
probably just in the big cities, Atlanta, LA, Miami.
Yeah, and New York. Don't forget
Eh,
New York City.
oh yeah, we hurt their feelings. We don't include New York.
So yeah, some of those fragrances are so often, season based, especially like at some of these stores that we have access to. And they are just simply lovely.
They are,
Mhm.
and our sense of smell is key to our emotions and memory.
Yep.
The power of scent being able to effortlessly improve and or set our mood and enhance our sense of well-being is well studied and noted. But question is, how do we consumers truly feel about fragrances and their nostalgic impact on us?
Mhm.
Again, scent is very powerful, and you can literally spend many hours standing in a Bath and Body Works, standing there smelling all the delicious seasonal fragrances and candles. It's simply a delightful and delicious experience.
It truly is.
It is, and you and I both totally look forward to doing just that at any time we can.
And pre-pandemic, we would try to keep those visits when it was you and I going because the husbands don't enjoy it so much.
Total buzz kills. They're total buzz kills.
They're like, come on, because like you said, you could literally go from one side of the store to the other, picking up this and smelling that. And they're like, just pick one already.
Yeah. You can hear that foot tapping louder.
So, actually, there is an emotional bond that is created, which is based on and cements in our mind from these fragrances that you kind of gravitate to,
Yeah.
because there's preference and memory that stays with us. And top brands know just how important and crucial it is to connect with our noses.
Oh boy, do they. And the proof is in the pudding because when brands do this, they do their due diligence to appeal to our senses.
Mhm.
The impact is just huge. So we humans really are highly visual creatures, but the clever use of glorious scent is an intelligent, effective strategy, creating in us a most uplifting experience when catching a heavenly whiff of something nice here or there.
Yes. And a large part of our emotions are produced by what we smell. And, brands being aware of this scientific fact capitalize on this as we consumers spend our dollars.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, we make meaningful emotional connections, which dials up strong nostalgia for the most part.
Oh yeah.
So, unfortunately, our time on this apple snack is about up. Um, but before we go, we know that we possess five glorious senses to help us get through and enjoy our life. Five senses. So, if you had to lose or part with just one of those senses, which one do you think you could live without?
Oh my goodness, that's a loaded question.
Don't you love it?
Wow. I mean, because, like they all help us navigate some type of way.
Hmm.
Like, I know I love music, so I wouldn't want to give up my ears.
Hmm.
I love to eat, so I wouldn't want to give up my taste. I do like smelling nice things. And a nice touch is, well, too, like if you're touching your cat or a dog, you just, that connection.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I don't know if I could pick one. I love them all and I see how that they help us do things and live. So I really don't know. I got nothing on that one.
Oh, taking the easy way out.
Yeah, but watch this. This is dirty. So what about you? Which which of the five senses would you willingly give up if you had to, Coop?
Oh my goodness. Well, since you already took the easy way out,
That's right.
uh, I would say maybe taste.
Really?
Yeah. Because, I think that would be the notorious, anyone would be like, yeah, I could stand to lose 5 pounds or two. So, yeah, if you do taste, that would easily help you in that regard anytime you felt like you had to do that. So, yeah, I'll lose taste.
Interesting. And there unfortunately are some health issues some can come across or experience that can take away one or any of their senses away.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I mean, we can think of one off the top of our head right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Like hearing accounts or reports in the news about some actually losing their sense of smell and or taste from, sadly, the experience of COVID-19.
There it is.
Our senses more often than not, we take for granted, and it really would be difficult to choose any one of our senses to go without. When you reflect on that, it makes you take a step back and feel grateful for simple gifts such as these.
Oh, very, very true, Coop. Those are very nice sentiments. Yeah, I know allergies are a residual response as well to certain strong scents. As I feel I suffer from it, something, um, is way too floral strong for me. Oh my goodness.
Hmm. Hmm.
And
Yeah.
I honestly think that it spiraled from the navy perfume. I used to wear back in the day.
Oh, so we mentioned Navy once and it was good, and now we mentioned Navy twice and it's not so good.
And I hate that because I love navy. I love that perfume, but
Hmm.
it was super strong, and the minute I squirted on, it tore my nose up. Now, a good bit of things strong smelling to me will set me off in a matter of a second. I mean, I'm like kind of hyper aware now, like with other
Hmm.
stuff.
Yeah.
So that just totally hugs. But anyway, hey Coop,
Yeah.
don't you just love it when you're around or standing close to someone who absolutely reeks of strong perfume or cologne? Oh my goodness, that is the absolute worst.
Oh, that is the worst. It's like never a good idea for anyone to marinate themselves in a strong scent.
No.
And yeah, just don't do it. And don't you love when experience that same phenomenon, that of smelling strong, foul, cheap cologne plus body odor? I so remember some of the kids we went to school with back in the day that would do that. And
Yes.
how can I gracefully state this? Hmm.
Careful.
Let's yeah, let's see. Very gingerly say, well, hopefully whenever this occurred,
And it did often.
we just hoped it wasn't on an extremely warm or hot late summer day or spring day, I should say. Oh my
Facts. You did it justice. That was very, very graceful and classy.
god.
Oh my goodness. So quick poll before we close out. Which way do you lean, Coop, on the scent meter these days that you really enjoy now? What's your go-to? Do you like fruity or floral?
Oh, you know what? It's not even a competition. Hands down, it is definitely fruity.
Woo 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 woo.
Definitely.
Me too. I'm with you. I absolutely love fruity or food dessert smelling
Hmm.
fragrances or candles. I'm especially partial to vanilla and berry, citrus, some of those real nice fruity scents.
Yes, and peach. Peach is always a good one too.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Got that little hint of sweetness about it.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness. I enjoyed our discussion this week, Coop. This was a good one. And I'm glad when we were talking the other day, you mentioned this subject, while we were just, going back in time and thinking about some of the good things we remembered.
It sure is. It's always fun to get together and chit chat, and when we could actually bring our listeners in on one of those conversations, it's just all the more sweet. So great scents are the best, and I truly believe that the ones we really like and are drawn to now sure come from our experience from yesteryear. I say that with confidence because nostalgia is the bomb.
It's always good to reminisce.
And that's it for this week's Apple Snack. But as you know, there's always more where that came from. So stay tuned. Subscribe, review, and spread the word. See you next time in the Retro Orchard, and thanks so much for listening.